to thank God for life and thank our daddy for this incredible opportunity. I don't take it for granted any bit. I am humbly grateful for this opportunity. So today, I'm going to be talking about marketing. I'm going to be talking about marketing. And I'm going to be laying some foundations on what marketing is and why marketing is important for everybody here, be you a businessman, an employee, or you are self-employed. Now, I'll start with some statistics. Now, according to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, which is the official statistics body of Nigeria, 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years of operation. 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years of operation. That is for Nigeria. And Nigeria is classified as a developing country. But for developed countries like Japan, Canada, and America, different. It is 70% fail. So businesses fail in America, they fail in Nigeria, but in Nigeria we have a higher percentage because of the ignorance of many businesses to marketing. If you ask any businessman in Nigeria today, or most businessmen, what is your #1 challenge? They will tell you finance. And that is not the #1 challenge. The #1 challenge is marketing. Marketing. When you understand marketing, all the money you are looking for, your customers will bring it to you. When you understand marketing, all the money you are looking for, your customers will bring it to you. The reason why most businesses are challenged or they are suffering or complaining is because they don't understand marketing. But before we go into the nitty-gritty of what marketing is, I want to give you a background of myself. I know some of you may be looking at me and saying, what does this young man know about marketing? So I'll give you a background of myself, where I've been, and why I'm standing here. Okay, so I left school in the year 2006, and after then, I was retained by my university to lecture marketing, and I did that for 9 years. I lectured marketing for 9 years, and in the process of my lecturing, I also taught entrepreneurship. And the university was Covenant University. How many of us know that school here? Covenant University. You've heard of that school? Yes. So that was the school I went to. That was the school I lectured for 9 years. I started lecturing when I was 21. I lectured till I was 31. Managed my family business till now. And in this time, I've been able to understand marketing both in theory and both in practice. So I'm well vested in the theory, and I'm also well vested in the practice. I have a master's degree in marketing, so I know the theory. But I'm not just here coming to talk about theory, I'm also coming to talk about practice. And I've also consulted for a number of small businesses. I know most of you here know or own small businesses or know people that own small businesses. So I know the challenges that most small businesses have. And that's why I'm here, to address some issues or some misconceptions that people have about marketing. And by the time I'm done with this topic, I believe your orientation would have changed. Or even if you know about marketing, it would have improved and your businesses can thrive. But before I go in again, I want to lay another background about the main reason why less businesses fail in America and more fail in Nigeria. In America, before you start a business, it is common knowledge, or in the developed world, that you read and you do research. It is common knowledge. Even if you are going to start the simplest of businesses, in the developed world, it is common knowledge that you read and you research. But in Nigeria, ask any average businessman, how many books have you read? You like books. how does that affect my business? And that is the problem most of us have. And if you don't read as a businessman or as an employee, you will find if you still don't invest in literature that is related to your business, you will still struggle, because I have just 25 minutes, so there's a limited amount of things I can say here. And I don't blame Africans for not reading. The problem why Africans don't read is traceable to the school system. Most of us here pass through primary schools and pass through secondary schools. And in the school system, because I run a school, and it is something I'm always trying to educate my teachers on. A math teacher walks into class and he tells you, students, today I'm going to teach you about algebra. And he writes algebra on the board and starts writing equations. The students are not interested. Why? Because the teacher did not tell them why they are studying algebra. But if that same algebra is taught in America or Japan or South Korea, the teacher starts with a story. He writes algebra on the board and says, students, today we are going to learn algebra. But I'm going to take you back to the year 1304, when the world was having a particular problem and nobody could solve that problem. So mathematicians now came together and used algebra to solve that problem. The students are now like, oh, that is why we are learning algebra. They listen. A teacher writes on the board, today we are going to be studying English language. Students just believe that they are learning English language so they can pass WAEC. While another teacher in a developed country will tell them the reason why they are learning English language, then the students now have interest. That is why they learn. That's why you see, after school, most of us don't buy any book, because we don't see the relevance of what we learned in school. You hear people saying, while I was in secondary school, they told us solve for x, solve for x, solve for x. Where that x they help me today? How many of us have said that thing? Because your teacher didn't tell you the reason why you were solving for x. So if someone should tell you, go and buy a book on marketing, you don't know the reason, because your mind has been ruined in school that education or schooling is only for exam and not for life. And that is wrong. Exam is only 10% of education and 90% for living. So I want to reorientate your mind that please try and pick a book. Nobody said you should finish the book in 1 week. You can read one book for 1 year. But once you understand that book, it will help you. Everything I'm going to say today is not new. But it will be new to some of you because you have not opened the book. They asked Winston Churchill, one of the greatest leaders of all time. He said, why is Africa backward? He said, Africa is backward because if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a what? Put it in the book. So I want to lay that backdrop now, because if you just depend on what I say today alone, you may still struggle in your business. But if you add what I'm going to say with the books you are going to buy, you will see that you will be a transformed individual. And I pray that one day we'll have a minister of education that will help our teachers learn how to teach. And then you will see that students will stop struggling and hating maths. Like anytime I teach my students math, they're like, sir, you didn't know that maths was this interesting, because I always start with a story on why they are learning that thing. And you see, those students that hated math, they start bringing out their textbooks. Sir, teach us more, we want to know more. So that is I just wanted to lay that backdrop to encourage us to read. Now let us go straight, because of time, let's go straight to what marketing is. Now, I'm going to give you a definition of marketing that we can all relate to. I'm not going to give you a textbook definition. Now, marketing, for our context here, is the ability to start a business and focus on your customer. I'll say it again. Marketing is the ability of an individual to start a business and focus on the customer. Now, marketing has words and opposites. There's an opposite side of marketing, which many of us think marketing is. And the opposite side of marketing is called sales. Now, what is sales? Sales is the ability of an individual to start a business and focus on the product. That is the difference. A marketer focuses on the customer, a salesman focuses on the product. Now I'm going to be telling us about 7 stories today on different businesses and how these businesses were able to use marketing to thrive. Now you may ask a question. Yes, you've spoken well, that marketing is the ability to focus on your customer. Now the second question is, how do you focus on your customer? Very important. That is where we are going to now. Now according to literature, there are 7 ways you can focus on your customer. There are 7 ways you can focus on your customer. But before we go into that, I want to give you the history of marketing. Why did marketing come about? Now, the world as we know it has gone through 4 different eras. We are in the 5th era now. The first era was the agrarian economy. That was the time of the Bible, where everybody was either a farmer or a market woman. Marketing was not needed then, because as a farmer you must make money, as a market woman you must make money. So marketing was not needed. It was even non-existent in that time. But the world now moved to a second era called the Industrial Revolution. This was between 1850 and 1925 or 1930, which was the end of the Second World War. And something happened during the Second World War. There was an explosion of technology, because a lot of technology was needed for America and Britain to fight and win Germany. So after the war, there was a lot of technology available. So countries like America and Germany started producing. They believed that once you produce goods and put in the market, people will buy. So people started opening factories everywhere. People were making nails, people were making bread. People everywhere in America turned to a huge factory. But they now realized something in the 1940s, that with all the things they were producing, businesses were still failing. They had the technology, they had the money, the people were there, they had dollars in their pockets, but they were not buying. They became confused, because they were coming from the agrarian economy, and in the agrarian economy, as long as you harvest your goods, take to the market, people will buy. But now with the industrial era, we have the money, we have the technology, we are making products, quality products, we take to the market, nobody is buying. Then they now started to think, there's something we are doing wrong. They now found out that the companies that were succeeding are the ones that focused on the products that the customers wanted, not what they thought the customer wanted. That was when marketing started in the 1950s until now. And that is the mistake many people make. You see your friend having a bakery, and in 2 years he has built 2 houses and bought 5 cars. And you say, if my friend can have a bakery and make it, why can't I do a bakery? You are focusing on the product and not on the customer. You will now wake up, take a loan from the bank, build a bakery, nobody will buy your bread. And you are confused. Is it not the same bread that my friend is making? But your friend is focusing on the customer, you are focusing on the product. So now let's go to the 7 areas. So I've told you the history of marketing. That the challenge many people are having in Nigeria today, they had that challenge in the 1940s in America. And the solution was marketing. The greatest of the greatest companies in the world today, Apple, Microsoft, Google, they spend a lot on marketing. So let's quickly go because of time. Now, what are the 7 areas you can focus on a customer? Meaning that as a customer is looking for 7 things in your product, 7 things. And out of these 7, you must not do the 7. You can just pick one, focus on that one, and your customers will be happy, and they will bring all the business you need. So the first one, according to literature, and according to theory and practice, is the product itself. That's the first thing customers are looking for, the product itself. The second thing customers are looking for is the price. The second thing customers are looking for is the price. The third thing customers are looking for is the promotion. Promotion. The fourth thing they are looking for is the people. 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 The fifth thing they are looking for is the process. Process. The sixth thing they are looking for is what we call physical evidence. Physical evidence. I will break it down. And the seventh thing have I talked about place? Have I talked about place? Okay, the seventh thing is the place. The place, that's the seventh thing, the place. Now, because of time and relevance to this audience, I'm going to focus on only three. I'm going to focus on products. I'm going to focus on promotion. I'm going to focus on people. These are the three I'll focus on. If we have another time, I'll talk about the rest. Now, what is product? Product is the basic offering you are giving your customer. The product is the basic offering you are giving your customer. And in marketing, you can only succeed in two ways with your product. It's either your product is unique or your product has options. I will say that again. In marketing, you can only succeed with your product. That is if you decide. You know, I told you there are 7 things. So as a businessman, out of these 7, you say, okay, Mr. IKIODA, I want to focus on product. This is the one I want to focus on. Another person can say, I don't care about product. I want to focus on price. And note, you can focus on any one and be successful. So let's say you want to focus on product. Your product must have 2 things. It's either it is unique or either it is a product that has a lot of options. Now, I'll start with a story. While I was working in Covenant University, I was opportuned. It was a rare privilege, very rare. We were 25 of us, which were the best graduating students of our set, that were called back to lecture. And out of that 25 of us, 7 of us were selected as the best of the best to work as close assistants with Bishop Oyedepo. How many of us know Bishop Oyedepo? You know that man, right? Yes. And once a week, on a Friday, Bishop Oyedepo will call the 7 of us to his office and teach us lessons about business and life. It was a rare opportunity. I was 21 then. So just sitting down on the same table with Bishop Oyedepo was already a life-changing experience. So on one of those fateful nights, he normally called us around 2 a.m., that kind of time. So he called us because when in Covenant then, we have a mantra called "Live Ready." So we don't sleep because you don't know the time Bishop will call you. So he called us around 2 a.m. that day and all of us rushed to his office. So that day he said he's going to tell us something that he has not told anybody before. And after the meeting, I took permission from him if I can share his story. He said, why not? He has shared it with me. I can share it with whoever I want. He said he's going to tell us how his church became the biggest church in Nigeria, arguably. He said it happened in 1982. In 1982, his church was doing okay. He was having 1 or 2 branches here and there, but he desired a particular church growth that he was not having. He fasted, he prayed. At a point, he fasted for 42 days, only on water. He was not even vomiting blood, but the church was still where it was. So one day, while he was praying, the Holy Spirit ministered to him that, my son, you desire church growth. He said the answer is this: keep the grass green, and the sheep will come and feed. You didn't understand the message. Holy Spirit said again, keep the grass green, and the sheep will come and feed. And the sheep will provide you with cloth and meat. You know that the sheep, their wool, we use their wool to, you know that, right? So the sheep is a very, very special kind of animal. It doesn't just give you meat, it gives you sheep. And you ask the Holy Spirit, what is the grass? He said the grass is the word. As long as the word is relevant to your people, they will always come. And remember, he told us, in the 80s, the Christianity of then is different from Christianity of now. In the 80s, all churches were preaching heaven and hell. That was the mantra. Give your life to Christ, go to heaven or hell, that's all. So he now decided that, okay, that means the Bible is more than heaven and hell. The Bible is talking about how we can use the word to solve people's problems. He now started researching. What does God say about financial prosperity? What does God say about marriage? What does God say about barrenness? And immediately started preaching the word to solve people's problems. Winners Chapel exploded. Bishop Oyedepo was the pioneer of what we call the prosperity ministry. Yes, he was criticized, but that was the secret. When he started preaching the word, remember, he was no longer focusing on the product, he was now focusing on the customer. What does the customer want? People are looking for solutions to their problems. People are looking for solutions to their marital crisis, and the Bible has the solution. People were looking for problems, people were looking for solutions to all manner of problems, and immediately started showing the people the answer to those problems in the word. Winners Chapel exploded. Told us that secret in a closed door meeting in 2007. So I'm already laying a backdrop on the importance of focusing on your customer. I'll tell you a second story. This story is about the most successful POS operator in the area I live. The most successful POS operator in the area I live. Now, the POS business, I'm sure most of us know about the POS business, right? Yes. Everywhere. But you will notice that there are some people that are more successful than others. You can have 9 POS operators on the road, but everybody keeps going to one person. And why is this woman successful? Because I'm a marketer and I was once an academic. I study my environment a lot. I study a lot. So I started studying this woman. Why is she successful and all the other people? Some people have even closed down their shop. But she's still there and she's thriving. I noticed, number one, she pays so much emphasis on the products. Most people open their POS stand and have one POS machine. When you go there, network no day, customer goes. This woman has 5 from different vendors. OPay, PalmPay. By the time you put your card in this one, it don't work. Okay, wait. Put. Okay, it don't work. This woman has accounts in all the banks. Some people, you do transfer, they have only one account. And you know, in Nigeria, when you do bank-to-bank transfer, sometimes it takes time. So what she did was that she opened accounts with all the banks. So when she knows that there is a network issue, she will tell you, once you get there, okay, do you want to do transfer? Which bank? Access. SIM access account. Because she knows that bank-to-bank transfer is immediate. Okay, which bank? Keystone Bank she will give you. Which bank? She even has Unity Bank. Unity. I say, wow, madam. Some people don't even know there's a bank like that. She has Unity Bank accounts. So that woman understands the business, while another person will have their own one GCB account and one POS machine. And when business is not moving, she's complaining. She understands the product. Now, I told you that your product can either be unique or have options. Bishop Oyedepo had a unique product. That woman had options. She did not have a unique product. It's the same POS everybody is using. The same bank account everybody is using. But what? She has options. Because there are so many businesses today, you may not be able to have options. For example, you are selling it, you may not be able to have a unique product. For example, you are selling in Alaba. Everybody is selling radio on the line. And all of you are buying from the same distributor. So you cannot say my radio is better than my neighbor's sold. It's the same radio. You are selling in the market. Everybody is selling rice on the line. You cannot say my rice is better than this person's rice because all of you bought from the same distributor. But what are the options of rice you have? Now these are the misconceptions. That's why you see people are struggling in business. I will tell you another story about uniqueness. About people that have used uniqueness to thrive. I'll soon be rounding off now because of time. There's a woman I know, a fellow school owner in the area I stay. She started her school about 30 years ago, one of the oldest schools in that area. Her husband had money. Husband was working in the bank, one of the richest men in my area in those days. And the wife was a full-time housewife. And he told the wife, I don't like the way you are staying at home, driving around, picking the children. I want you to start something. So she now went to meet her sister, that this is what my husband said. And her sister said, you are good with children. Why don't you start a school? She will start a school. She knew she did not have what it took to start a school. And her child, she had a growing son then, it took that boy a long time to read. And it was concerning for her. And in those days, how teachers teach children to read, and many schools are still doing it today. We call it the read-along method. Where the teacher stays in front of the class, opens a book and says, read after me. He is a boy. Say after me, he is a boy. So the more you keep repeating it, one day the child will know that, okay, this woman is called what? Boy. That is how and that's how many of us learned how to read. You see a child in primary 1, he cannot read. Or he can read only that textbook. Give him that textbook, he'll be looking at you. Mommy, I don't know. Because it's called the read-along method. And she did not want to start a school that taught that method. So she went to Festac and inquired. There was a particular school in Festac that parents were dying to go. Parents were dying to enroll their children in that school. And why was that school special? The woman went to Canada to learn about the teaching methods. So she brought that method to Nigeria. And in that school, children of age 3, age 2 were reading. While in other schools, age 5, age 6, age 7 were not reading. So this woman went to the school and said, Madam, please, I want to learn. And the woman said, we don't take interns, we don't teach, because she gathered her secret with all her heart. And this particular rich man's wife said, Madam, I will learn for free. The woman said, what? I will not pay you. He said, no, I will not pay you. Oh yeah, when do you want to start? Free staff. That's how this woman went to that school and learned a new method of teaching, which many schools in Isashi are using today, including my school, which is using 2-letter words. When you teach a child B-A-N and IT, and you start teaching them small like that, you see they will start identifying those letters and they start reading. After 2-letter words, you move towards 3-letter words. After 3-letter words, you move to 4-letter words. Before you know, the child reads anything. And when she now learned from that woman in Festac and came to Isashi, wow, the school was the best school. She had a unique product. Marketing. But some of us may not be lucky enough to have a unique product. But don't worry. Just have options. Just like the POS lady. Have options. If A is not available, B should be available. Now, as I'm rounding off, the second thing I'll talk about is promotion. And before I go to promotion, I want to talk to our young people here. Some of us are young guys here, and there's a new industry that is coming up called the skit comedy industry. How many of us know that all these people that make comedy and make people laugh? I'm sure most of us have seen it. Facebook, they're everywhere, yeah. And many youth are jumping into that sector, which is good, but many of them are jumping without intelligence, without doing their research. And I'm going to relate that industry to products, about uniqueness and options. And anytime I talk to small businesses, I always tell them, I prefer you to choose a business with options than looking for uniqueness, because uniqueness is hard. Now let me use our Big Daddy for example. You see this very beautiful church. I want to copy our Big Daddy. He has the unique talent of singing. How many of us know that? When our Big Daddy sings, heaven comes down. How many people can do that? So if you can have a unique product, fine. All right. So, okay. So our my line of thought has been. All right. So I was talking about the skit industry. Now, if you notice, the biggest skit makers in Nigeria don't have a unique product. They have options. Some of our daddies and mummies may not relate to what I'm saying, but the young people here will read what I'm saying. Now, if you look at the 7 biggest skit makers, one of them is called Taoma. How many of us know Taoma? You know Tao? Now, the reason why Tao is incredibly successful is because Tao gives you options. She is the father, she is the mother, she is Tao, she is her brother, she is her sister. So when you are watching, you don't know the person she's going to, so you want to watch her videos over and over again. Options. Tao makes 500 million naira a year. 500 million. Last time we checked, 500 million. That girl, she's 24. She makes 500 million a year from endorsements and adverts. The second person is Lasisi Elena. How many of us know Lasisi? Lasisi has 5 characters. He has Sinzu Money, he has the pastor, he has the ranting guy, he has atomic bomb, he has a nurse. He gives you what? Options. So when you see a Lasisi video, you quickly want to watch because you don't know who is going to come up. Options. There's another girl called Maraji. Maraji has 5 characters. There's another guy called Twice. Twice has 9 characters. Options. They don't have a unique product. All of them are funny, but they will give you options. So if you are here, you are thinking of going into the skit industry, you want to make comedy, I advise you, don't look for how you will be the most funny comedian. That will be hard. Think of how you can have many characters and you will thrive. Finally, I'll talk about promotion. Promotion is the ability or the process on how you invite your customers to your business. How you invite your customers to your business. I'm going to tell you 2 stories again and I round up here. About 2 friends of mine, both selling hair, human hair. They both import this hair from China, from the same source. One is still struggling to sell, the other one has moved to Lekki from hair. The one that is still struggling is busy going around saying that the other one is using juju and she has put her hand in some diabolical things. And I laugh anytime she says that. But 2 of them are doing their promotion differently. Now, I go back to the definition of marketing that says focus on your customer. What does your customer want? Now, women that buy hair are not buying hair to cover their head. They already have natural hair. A woman that is buying hair for 2 reasons. To look beautiful and to look comfortable. So the first one that is not successful takes a picture of the hair that she has imported, puts it on all our social media platforms, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. She just puts the hair and puts the price. Come and buy good cheap hair. But the second one that is successful, understands that women are not just there to buy hair. They want to buy hair that makes them feel good, look good, and are comfortable. So what does she do? Anytime she sells a particular hair to a customer, she will beg the customer that when you make the hair, send me a picture or send me a video of how you look and how you feel in the hair. So when our customers send the video, they'll say, oh, look at how beautiful I'm looking. Oh, thank you. They'll call her name. Thank you for this lovely hair. That is the video she puts online. So when other girls see the hair, that this hair has made this woman look beautiful, they'll say, how much is that hair? I want that one that girl wore to that occasion. I want to look like that girl. You can see two of them, the same products, but different promotion. One understands that, and many girls, women that are selling hair, make that mistake. Go on Instagram, they'll just hang hair. You just see hair, or they'll just put the strand and put price. It will not sell. You need to show people how that your hair is making them feel and look. That is how you understand your customer. The second one is about the fashion business also. This one, the two shops are in Isashi. Both of them I know very well. One is struggling, one is now importing, after the last time we spoke, is now importing 5 containers of clothes from Turkey and Thailand. 5 containers. She's now a wholesaler. And how did she do it? The same concept that her lady did is the same thing she does. The first one that is selling clothes, when her clothes come, she will just take the pictures of the clothes as they are and put it on her WhatsApp and say, new stock available. She'll put the price. While the second woman that owns the fashion boutique, she does both on adults and children. So she has 2 kids, beautiful kids. So when she brings the clothes for the kids, she wears them on her kids and tells them to model the clothes. And she'll start hailing them on the background. Bo, 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 bo. And you see the boy doing like this. She'll put it online. Other mothers, now you have to understand something. Anybody coming to a boutique to buy clothes is not buying clothes to cover their nakedness. People that if you want to cover your nakedness, you go and buy okrika. Yes. Okrika is for covering nakedness. But if you see a man or a woman walking into a boutique, it's not for covering nakedness. They want to feel, look, and be appreciated. So if you just put your clothes there, come and buy, you are not talking to the right people. Go and be selling okrika. But if now you want to start a fashion boutique, you have to change your promotion. So when mothers see her son looking beautiful in his shirt and jeans, she'll say, your son is fine, oh. How much is that jeans? 7,000. And the beauty of this marketing, when your customer comes to meet you, you can sell at any price. When you go after your marketer, they'll price you down. But when your customer comes to you, what you were supposed to be 2,000 is 7,000 because they're the one that came. The same thing, she is her own model. When she brings clothes for women, she will wear the clothes and put one music at the background and she'll start looking. Are you not seeing the glory of God? Because she's born again Christian. And other women, we see that the clothes she's selling is making her look and feel good. They will ask her, auntie this, how much is this dress? I love it. They don't care that she's wearing it. They don't care. They want to look the way she's looking. This is marketing. Finally, I want to talk about people. I'm rounding off now. People is how you relate with your customers. This is where many people fail. I'm going to tell you two more stories to round off. This story is about myself. I told you I went to Covenant University. I lectured for 9 years. And in that process, I did my master's degree program. And in the master's degree program, there's what we call internship, where you go and work for a company so that you can practice the theory that you are learning. Don't just stay in class and be knowing that you are a genius. Go and practice the marketing outside. So I was posted to a company called Reals Pharmaceuticals. It's a company in Ikeja. They make two particular products, Carigo and Mummy Sugar. Who knows that sweet called Carigo? You've heard about it before. Carigo sweet. Okay, thank you. God bless you. Now, my first day on the job, everybody was excited. Wow, someone from Providence University is coming to work for us. Everybody was excited. Our sales are going to skyrocket. So my team leader sent me to Agege market that I should sell, and my target was to sell 50 cartons of Carigo sweets in a week. I looked at him and said, sir, a homemade, a master's degree holder, 50 cartons. I said, sir, make it 250. What is 50 cartons to me? So they said, okay, go. I went to Agege market for the first time. And because I did not understand marketing in practice, I knew the theory, but I didn't understand marketing. I wore suits with my quaint British English. Walked to the first store, said, good afternoon, ma. I want my ID card. I'm a representative from Rails Pharmaceuticals, and I'm here to tell you about our fantastic product. That's what the woman said. I was wondering, I said, is this woman not seeing who is standing in front of her? A well-versed marketer. That week, I sold 1 carton. And the 1 carton, I was the one that bought it by myself, so I will not be embarrassed. So, there's what we call in marketing, those of us that work in marketing organizations, they will call MPR, Management Peer Review, where they review everybody in a week. So on a Monday morning, I got to work, and a particular guy, his name is Mr. Alani, stark illiterate, cannot piece 2 words of English together, but he was the biggest salesman in Rails Pharmaceutical. The same market, Mr. Alani sold 500 cartons. And they asked me, yes, our erudite scholar, how many? I said, 1, sir. What? 1. So my team lead called me after the meeting and said, I want you to work with Mr. Alani for a week. I said, me. But I remembered something Bishop used to say. He said, God resisted the proud, and the pride goeth before the fall. So I swallowed my pride, and I followed Mr. Alani to the market. Reluctantly. And this is what happened. Mr. Alani told me that when I came down, he said, we are not going today, we are going tomorrow. That I'm not dressed for the market. That when I'm coming tomorrow, I should wear shirt, t-shirt, and trouser, and palm. He said, I should do it. So the next day, I wore t-shirt, trouser, and palm. And I went to the market with him. On the first store we got to, Mr. Alani started, got to the woman, he doesn't know her before. And he started, Ekrolema. He said, mommy, welcome. Then he asked her in Yoruba, how is your family? How is business? Before you know, the woman started telling us stories of how her daughter got married and how the husband wanted to beat her, then the child. We were there for 15 minutes listening to this woman. And Mr. Alani was listening to her. He said, this world. At the end of the day, the woman asked him, hey, so what are you even here for? He said, mommy, your boy is just here. We are selling this. He said, how many cartons did you bring? Bring 7. So 7 cartons. Mr. Alani understands his customer. He knows that those marketing men are not looking for people to sell to. They are looking for someone they can talk with. And that is how we go around. There was a shop we went to. The woman ordered amala for us and we sat down and we were eating on the floor. And when we finished, she replaced her orders for 200 cartons. Mr. Alani understands his customer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless you.
Books, they are very,